Sources: Elections Canada. Votes in 2008. Bloc Québécois 1.3 million, Conservatives 5.2 million, Green Party 1 million, close to it, Liberal 3.6 million, NDP 2.5 million, for a total of 13,686,146 votes. Sources: Elections Canada, Statistics Canada. Population estimation: 2008, 32,976,000 people in Canada, Canadian citizens, what are considered Canadian citizens. Number of registered voters in 2008, 23,677,000. Then it says electors as of the population, so you get a 71.8%, and then total number of votes, or total number of people, as you see, total votes, 13,929,000. Then it says voter turnout as percentage of the registered voters, and you see 58%. Then it says votes cast as a percentage of total population, 42%. 42%, as you see. October 8th, so we got 30. So, in the elections in 2008, the votes that were cast, which means people who voted, because each vote cast equals one person. There was 13,929,093 people that voted. That represents 42% of the total population of Canada, because estimated population of Canada was 32,976,026 people, the total population. So out of that total population pool, 42% of the total voted. Now that means 58% did not vote. This includes women, children, men, sick people, just everybody. So in 2008, from the 13,929,093 votes, or people that voted, 5,209,069 voted for the Conservatives, 2,515,268 voted for the NDP, 3,644,185 voted for the Liberal. For the Bloc Québécois, it was 1,379,991. And for the Green Party, it was 937,613 people that voted. This is how it broke up during that elections. So from the total people who were able to vote of 23,677,000, the total who did vote was 13,929,000. The Conservative Party, they got 5,209,069 votes. So from all the people who were able to vote, the amount of votes that the Conservative Party got, it only represents 22%. The Conservative Party only got 22% of all the votes that were able. And for all of Canada, if we look at our population, the Conservative Party only got 16%. 16%. It only represents 16% of Canada and its population. So percentage-wise, Canada's total population, 32,976,000. Conservatives have 16% of the population's vote. NDP has only 8%. Liberal, 11%. Bloc Québécois, 4%. Green Party, 3%. That's when you look, it makes a total of 42% of the total population. So the leader of Canada is representing 16% of all the Canadian citizens. So the Conservative Party, the winning party, got 5.2 million votes in 2008 election. That represented 16% of the total population of Canada. And they say this government is a government that represents the people. Well, if we're 33 million people and the ones in power got put in there from only 5 million people, it doesn't seem like the government is representing the people, because out of 33 million, only 5 million voted for that party. The rest of the people in Canada didn't want to have nothing to do with the winning party, with the Conservative. That's close to 27 million people. 27 million who don't want to have nothing to do. Well, okay, we're talking about children and stuff, but still, that don't want to have nothing to do with the winning party. Yet, the winning party, who represents 16% of Canada. So we have in the government now a parliament member who sits in the House of Commons from the leading party, who claims to be sitting there on behalf of all the people of Canada. He claims he's been voted in there and he represents the people of Canada. Now there's no direct participation of the people of Canada anymore. For you and I cannot go into the House of Commons, and the average person in Canada cannot go and have their voice heard. Now this parliament member, he only represents, as you've seen, 16% of all the population of Canada. And he only represents 22% of all the people who are able to vote. So 80%, round down, have no say. Since this particular parliament member, he was voted in by only 5 million people, and he has certain desires and certain wishes that he wants to see fulfilled in his political party, then this member can pass laws that benefit corporations and not people. He could pass laws to benefit people, but we have to check the political party to see what they stand for. Nevertheless, you still have someone who is in control of all the country or corporation, but is in control of all Her Majesty's subjects, and only 22% of voters voted him in, and only 16% of the total population voted him in. And that's what they call democracy in action. I've heard it say that this is a government for the people. I can replace that word and say corporation, but it's still even not for the people. Because this government, 16% of all the people voted for this government. Yet 84% of the people who want to have nothing to do with this political party. They don't support this political party. They don't support what this party stands for. They don't want nothing to do with this party. But yet 84% are under obligation to obey. Thus 16% through the political party. This is controlled by a few. One parliament member voted in there by a small regime of people now controls the mass majority through laws and regulations. But he only controls her subjects, or the Majesty's subjects. So I've heard it say that democracy is for the people. Well, let's see. So, to me, democracy, when I hear that word democracy, it means a political system. Just like any other political system that has a title to it. Communism. And a political system, it struggles for power. Because you have different parties. They're separate in their beliefs. They're separate in what they want for their country. And they fight. Not physically, but they fight with words to get people to listen to them and vote them in. So it's a political struggle in order to win the office. So the winning political party, the Conservatives, with 5,200,000 votes, I rounded it up. Now those 5,200,000 people that voted for the Conservatives, the members of the party have very few relationships with the people that actually voted for them. They really don't know the people. They really don't talk to the people or fellowship with the people. It's not like they say, come on over to my house, let's have a supper, let's get to know one another, things like that. It's a very distant relationship. The political party it has desires. The party has its own desires. And it's not desires for the people. It's desires that the political party has itself, and if you agree with their desires, then you vote with them, for them. If you do not agree for their desires, then you do not vote for them. But the political party is not really there for the people. It's for their own political desires or motivation. And if you agree with it, then you vote. So then, having a parliament member who sits on behalf of the whole population of Canada, but yet he only represents 16% of the people, 16 who has voted him in. This is a misrepresentation of the people of Canada. For in no way is he representing all the people of Canada. So the existence of a parliament member up here means the absence of the people from parliament. And again, the one who sits in parliament claiming that he's sitting there on behalf of the people only does so because a limited number of people have gave him that right. We, the people, we are isolated from the representative, the parliament member of government. We can't approach them. We can't have a conversation with them. They are isolated from us also. So in turn, they're not representing the people. They're standing there representing a party. And they're only standing there representing a party because a small number of Canadians, we the people, allowed them to stand there under disguise that we were going to vote in a government that was for the people. But in the end, it forced the people to follow it. In the end, again, what we have is a government that is a parliament for the winning party. It's a parliament for the winning party, and not a parliament for the people, because in no way does this parliament represent us 33 million people. What more can we say? All of us, and here in Canada, whoever understands what the hell's going on here, this is ridiculous. Not only do they seize our patrimony, not only are they playing games with us all around, now when we try to change the government, it'll never be possible. The way they structured this democracy. So the executive power, the powers of operation, it becomes that of the winning party. In this case, it was the cons that we were talking about, the Conservatives. They take the executive power, and not the people of Canada, through this whole process called democracy. The power that should belong to 33 million people who own this country, who were born here, whose resources are ours, it then gets stripped away from us through this process and delivered into the hands of the winning party, who then exercise executive power. And that winning party only represents 16%. So the winner, the parliament member, he takes over the sovereignty of all the people of Canada, the 33 million, and he claims to act on our behalf for us. He says, oh, for the best interest of Canada, for the people of Canada. But when we go and see what is the oath of office that this parliament member is taking, his oath of office is an allegiance to the Queen and to do what the Queen wants and on behalf of the Queen. And his allegiance is not to the people of Canada. Why would it be? As you see, he doesn't represent the people of Canada. He represents a small minority of the people of Canada. And in a democratic society, supposed to be, it takes a majority, 50% or one. But the way the government's structured, no matter what parliament member gets in, he's always only going to represent a small minority of the government, of the people, a small minority of the people. He'll never represent the people in the whole.